Is this not the power button? Oh, wait, there's the power button. And there's this message from our sponsor. It's frickin' quiet. You know what else is quiet? The Segue to our sponsor. Wait, are we about to game on an Apple server? Yes. And we're about to tell you about our sponsor. All that remains to be seen, given that it was clearly possible to port your games in the past, is whether developers will support it. And it remains to be seen who's going to do a segue to our sponsor. And with all these features, does it have a place for me to plug in this message from our sponsor? Panasonic won't be showing up to eat their lunch anytime soon. But I will be showing up right now on your screen to segue to our sponsor. But a word of warning, be careful what you wish for. Unless you're wishing for this segue to our sponsor. If anything, they're the best of a kind of niche and uncomfortable bunch.
Terrible.
While I tell you about our sponsor. I don't know how long I'm going to be alive, so before I go, I'd like to tell you about our sponsor.
Don't do what we do.
Yeah, please don't. Especially, don't tell you about our sponsor. And it puts everything you might want all in one place. Everything except this segue to our sponsor. But they can't be trusted to solve everything. You know who can be trusted? Me, to tell you about our sponsor. The question is just, how? And the other question is, who will sponsor this video?
But look at that. That's so cool.
So cool, like this segue to our sponsor. Hey, Optimus Prime, roll out. Whoa. This is at least 3 times better than that.
And then the Oral-B toothbrush is $2.99.
Okay, whatever. Cut through the marketing, read the fine print, and figure out what Apple is trying to hide from me. And hide from our sponsor. Maybe the entire point of that product is to make the Mac Studio seem like a somewhat acceptable value? We're gonna find out. Just like we're gonna find out about our sponsor. Even though it's actually buried with the other C tiers. Just like I buried this lazy C tier segue to our sponsor. I think the only thing more accurate is this nanovolt accurate segue to our sponsor. What happens when you buy the absolute cheapest laptop? We are about to find out. Like we're about to find out about our sponsor. In conclusion, it's awful, but also kind of endearing. Kind of like the way that I segue to our sponsor. And what they discovered? Well, let's just say the answers aren't as straightforward as this segue to our sponsor. You just have to decide how much or how little you want to gamble. But you know you're never gambling with our sponsor. And securely sync to each other from miles away. Just like I'm gonna remotely sync this message from today's sponsor. Now it's time to rip this whole thing apart, pack it up, ship it, and tell you about our sponsor. Even the most ardent of AMD fanboys is gonna come around to my viewpoint and come around to this message from our sponsor. So goodbye, Quadfather. It's been an experience. Just like you should experience our sponsor. Just what the heck is this Z board? And what other nonsense has come out of Iran over the years? Oh, and who's today's sponsor? I'm not sure exactly what you or they will be using your Z boards for, but it certainly won't be to see this future message from our sponsor. Or are they just repurposed Android TV boxes? Is this a repurposed segue to our sponsor? This one, on the other hand, this one is stupid. Like this stupid segue to our sponsor. And a sneaky solution to a problem that pops up at the worst of times. We've also got this completely unexpected segue to our sponsor. Ideally, you could maybe give us one that generates marginally wittier segues to our sponsor. What does this have to do with any of what I just said? And what does it have to do with this message from our sponsor? There are more affordable options. Just like there are more affordable segues to our sponsor. By the time we're done, I am not gonna be on anyone's Christmas lists.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think you are right now.
Except the Christmas list of our sponsor. Okay, I'm sorry. I really actually don't think I can look at this anymore. Just like I can't look at this segue to our sponsor. And roll it as commodity storage hardware? We're gonna have the answers to those questions and more after this message from our sponsor.
You know what is up?
The segue to our sponsor. How we got here and see if we can come up with some ideas for how to fix this going forward. and some ideas for a message from our sponsor. And you can still sell them iCloud storage, just like I can sell you this Segue to our sponsor. And I'm gonna lay out an alternative that will get you better performance at a lower price. I'm also gonna lay out our sponsor. I guess I'm just gonna have to make another video saying the same dang thing. The same dang thing about our sponsor. I've actually done it. The unthinkable. Secret shopping? My own sponsors! Oh, I'm sorry. You thought you were safe because you wrote those checks to me? Wanna work with us in the future? Well, you better be ready, because we are not stopping here. We could even secret shop sponsors like... There's gonna be a lot more where this came from. But, hey, as long as you're doing a great job over there, you have no need to worry. Any reason for this computer to have been built. We also searched for our sponsor. Does anyone want to buy a lately used M2 Ultra Mac Pro that got scratched while we were sliding it out of the thermal chamber? No? How about a mention in a video? Anyone want to buy a mention in a video? How about you? Let's see then how these systems stack up, both the one they meant to send us and the one they didn't mean to send us. And let's see how this Segue stacks up to our sponsor. I'd say it gets a recommendation, even if I can only recommend it for folks who have a bit of experience troubleshooting PCs. You know what else I have experience with? Telling you about our sponsor. So here it is, how to build a $100,000 desk PC and how to thank our sponsor. Gotta karate chop the tree from the underside. Boop, boop, bow. That's what you get. And you guys get the end of this video. Hey, thanks. For years now, I've dreamed of water cooling my gaming PC with my pool. And today, that dream becomes a reality. It's heavy.
Oh no, he's drowning.
All we have to do is figure out how to get the heat from there into here.
Oh, it stinks.
Which is no mean feat. Like this Segue to our sponsor. Whatever, I'm wet. It's working.
And also we used all of the fittings that I was planning on using to connect that radiator outside, so we can't.
You know what we really can do though, is give you this message from our sponsor.